Welcome to the Properties to Profit podcast. I'm Michael, your host. Excited to share with you my journey from a six-figure job to building a successful real estate business. Each episode will explore various aspects of real estate investing, from wholesaling and flipping to managing rentals. I'll share the lessons and insights I've gained, aiming to help you avoid mistakes and achieve your financial goals. Expect guest experts, valuable tips, and practical advice to guide you on your own real estate journey. Thank you for tuning in. If you find any value in this podcast, please subscribe, share, and follow me on social media. Let's turn properties into profits together.
Hey guys, Michael here with Properties to Profits. And today, guys, I want to go over a learning experience we just recently happened. Experienced here at my home buying company, Oasis Home Buyers. And I'm hoping you guys can learn a little bit from this and maybe not make the same mistake that I did. Because this one was a tough one here. And so what I really wanted to talk about today is, we just received a 1-star review on, I can't remember the website now, actually, but it's basically where employees can go review their employees. Glassdoor, that's what it is. And this was a hire that had only been with us 2 weeks, and he decided to leave us a Glassdoor review of 1 star because he wasn't happy with his experience, and he's entitled to that. I don't have an issue with it. He shared his story, and that doesn't mean it's actually the truth, right? And that's what I want to share is the real story and how just hiring one wrong person, how much that can affect your business. And hint, hint, it might be a lot more than you really think it could be. So let's talk about the Glassdoor review. So this gentleman left us a review on Glassdoor, and I'm just gonna kind of go over the key points. So he worked for us for 2 weeks, and he left 2 reviews. One was about our hiring process when he was hired, all good things. And the only thing he didn't understand was the assessments, and we went over those with him, so I'm not really sure the context of that. But he wouldn't recommend us, doesn't like our business outlook, but pros, we're a small company, and you get to work with sales coaches to review calls. Very toxic work environment, expected to work every Saturday and take calls after hours. To be clear, this is a W-2 sales position with potential to earn $200,000-300K, and I believe we'll have salespeople making $400,000 or $500K over the next 3 years with how fast we're growing. So my thoughts on that is, man, salespeople, the more you work and the better you get your skill, the more you'll make. So I don't understand why that's an issue. A lot of turnover. Our turnover in the sales role is about 40%. That's pretty standard, actually. You get yelled at for making mistakes on the phone. Man, I can't say I've yelled at anyone, but I am passionate and I am straight to the point. Use personal goals to leverage, working long hours. Yeah, if you've got big goals, this gentleman had a dream to buy $1 million car in 3 years. Well, what do you think's gonna happen? Like, you can't buy $1 million car without working long hours or having a skill set that allows that. Makes you feel bad about if you haven't hit your goals for the week. Well, yeah, we're gonna ask questions about what's going on and what can we do to get there. Terrible competition, reputation in the area, so makes your job harder. Not sure where you got this, honestly. We have, our reviews are astonishing. We're one of, I believe, 4 companies with 100+ Google reviews, and of those 4, we have the second highest rating, and the other 3 have all been around twice as long. We've been in business for 4 years. They've all been in here for 7 to 8 years or longer. And you can take it back to all the people who have 50 reviews. They've all been here at least 3 years longer than us. So I think we take that positively. 0 positive feedback, only negative, he goes on to say. And then goes on to say we lied about the job. Man, I think we do a really good job about it. I think some people get excited about the goal. So let's talk about this. This gentleman had a lot of criticism, and we're open to it, and we're going to learn and make sure we don't make these same mistakes here. Because it's not a bad review. That's the issue. It's a misalignment here. We want to double our business year over year. You're not going to double business year over year without putting in long hours and getting better constantly. And we give a lot of feedback, and we give feedback very quickly. if we notice you're not doing something, we're gonna give you feedback in that moment. We're not gonna wait. So that was a lot of the misalignment here. I think we got excited because he wanted this really nice car. And we're like, oh, the work he's gonna do to get that $1 million car when the gentleman's never made more than 80 grand. Unfortunately, a lot of people um have these big dreams and they won't do the work. And so let's talk about the damage of a bad hire, right? This employee, and there were technically two, right? One had been with us for a year and shouldn't have been there. Man, that drain on our leadership team was tough. Having to put energy into them, wondering why they were the yo-yo effect. 1 month was good, 1 month was bad, and that emotional weight carries over to your whole team morale, and that's never a good thing. Um, Potential public perception. People were always complaining that these people were giving promises, and it's just they didn't have um they were too scared to tell people no was the biggest issue here, and that's what we ran into issues. And people, you don't understand the cost of onboarding, training, and then having someone leave because they weren't the right fit. Um, Man, they were caused a lot of damage here. Small cracks that if we wouldn't have caught this when we did, would have been structural damage and could have cost us a lot of more money than it did. Um, and the learning opportunity is all companies make hiring mistakes. Hiring is one of the hardest thing to do as you're growing a company, and that's why most companies don't grow, is they don't want to deal with how hard it is to hire and find good people. Um, but the best companies fix them fast, and that's what we're working on. And so we're going to share our framework on how we hire, right? And so we're looking for the right fit. We don't care about a resume. Um, we're hiring for alignment, not just talent. We found that talent without alignment leads to nothing. Because if we're not aligned, we're gonna have some conflict issues, right? And so with this gentleman, we parted ways 2 weeks because we realized we just weren't aligned. He didn't have the same values, and people can mislead you in an interview because they think it's gonna benefit them. And we found that out quick, and we parted ways. So we fire fast, slow to hire. Like our process in hiring is several assessments. It's it's a phone interview, 3 in person, a 4-hour working day, and then a final interview. And like we're gonna make sure we know you pretty well, and we're never gonna bat 100%, right? Um, we always tell people like we're a new company, we don't have everything figured out, we have conflict issues, but we're working through them and always gonna get better, and we're upfront about that. We tell people we work long hours and we hit goals at all costs. We don't go home if we're not hitting our KPIs for the week. Good news is our KPIs for the week aren't that hard to hit, right? It's just the people who aren't hitting them are typically lazy. They have too much screen time. And we're going to defend that culture, right? We want to make sure we're hitting our KPIs and serving our community and helping everyone who feeds off of our business grow. That is what it's all about. And so, man, when we had this review kind of behind the scenes, we talked about like, what did we do wrong? And the biggest thing we actually did wrong here is all of his assessments came back bad. But this gentleman shot us a text and said, hey, I know I didn't do a good job on those assessments. Can I take them again? And unfortunately, we allowed him to take him again, and he did much better. Knowing what we know now, like everyone we've hired that's worked out, he was still lower than all of them, but he had experience in this field. So we took that experience because we needed a hire. And so that didn't go well. We found out. And then when we ended up leaving, we lost 2 people. And they kind of had some of the same issues, hour and a half lunch, inconsistencies, and the team was relieved. Our energy was through the roof, and we broke a 5-month bad spell getting rid of those 2 employees. And so getting rid of people who aren't aligned with your culture is a great thing. You don't need to hold back when that happens. And so we had so many people who were relieved they were gone. Um, and it gave us great feedback. Don't hire because they have a resume that kind of checks their box. Um, they hadn't done the deal flow at what we had done, right? They had just done deals, and they were extremely small deals and would have bankrupted our company if we would have done that. So don't let because someone has experience in your field think it's going to actually be easier. A lot of times it's harder because there are bad habits you have to kill. And so, man, if you're a listener and you don't want to go through this, what I would do is first things first, audit your hiring process. Make sure you're screening for culture fit. Stop looking for people who have done what you're doing. Um, it doesn't always work out. always build out a 30-day alignment check, right? Have KPIs and processes for the first 90 days and make sure they're hitting those, and don't be afraid to let them go or put them on a pit plan if they're not hitting those. Make sure you have red flag triggers. Like for us, if you're taking an hour and a half lunch in your first 2 weeks, that's a huge red flag. We're going to probably let you go or have a serious conversation. And we're going to do a better job sharing those expectations. Something we've rolled out is like the big expectations that we have them sign it before they ever sign their letter of intent to come work with us. These are your KPIs that you're going to have to hit no matter what if you're going to move forward with us. And so what this has kind of done, and the mind shift we've had from here is, man, we're going to protect our team with all costs from one wrong fit. We've had a conversation with the team because they caught some things that he was talking some bad stuff about leadership in his first 24 hours. They need to let us know that so we can just part ways with you. If you don't like leadership, it's okay. You don't have to. Great news is there's millions of other companies to go work for, and go start a company and work for yourself at any given point. No harm, no foul. Like, it's okay. I'm going to like the people I work with, and we're going to make sure we're aligned in achieving the life and the goals that we want together. And remember, having one bad review doesn't define who you are. It happens to be our only review, but it still doesn't define it. It's their story, and it's how they viewed it through their lens, right? Everyone here who's here in our company viewed it from a different lens. So when you have 10 employees saying, hey, no, they just weren't the right fit, and you have one employee who worked for 2 weeks saying all these bad things, which one's the truth? And so we're going to have the consistent action and continue to get better at hiring and find the right people who reflect our goals, our values, and focus on a team that's going to achieve those things together. Because that's how we all do this. We don't do it on a one-man team. And so what I want to kind of reinforce here is the cost of a bad hire is a lot higher than you think. But remember, it's within your control. If you follow your hiring process and don't hire based on gut or a feeling, you'll get a lot better. And always remember, you're going to get bad reviews in life. And remember, it's not that big of a deal. We move on, we get better, and we just keep going. And I want you guys to do the same things when things kind of kick you in the teeth, right? And you get something that doesn't feel that great. Just improve on it, because you're not perfect. I'm not perfect. And we're all going to make mistakes. The issue is we don't want to keep making the same mistake over and over again without improving. So guys, if you found any value, please leave a review wherever you listen to this podcast, and reach out if you're building a team, or if you're someone who wants to work for a team and growth is important to you. You want opportunity to make multiple six figures in a sales job, or you can manage people or anything like that. We buy houses. We're in the wholesale real estate game. We'd love to have a conversation, and I can't wait to talk to you guys. Thanks for reaching out. Talk soon.
Thank you for listening to the Properties for Profit podcast. I hope you found today's episode valuable. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe and share it with others who might benefit. Follow me on social media for more updates and tips. Until next time, keep turning properties into profits.